Good spirited practice, good start to the week. Excited about homecoming this Saturday. Sounds like it's going to be a tremendous student turnout for sure. We're off to a good start, I think, with the student tickets. Any questions?
Kyle, just watching real quick in the Temple game, Cooper didn't play a lot. Is he okay, or was it just better with Jones out there?
No, Coop is okay. I think this time everybody's got their own nagging issues, and I think by this Saturday he'll be back to 100%. He'll be in good shape.
What about Federico? Is he still day to day?
Yeah, he was out for about the first half of practice today, and he's starting to do some really good stuff. I think he's closer, but again, I think it'll be a Thursday, Friday decision. I don't think it'll be any earlier than that.
Is that improvement for him being able to come out this early in the week? Because I guess before this, it had mostly been a Friday thing for him.
Absolutely. Yeah, he had not been out this early in the week prior to today.
How's he been handling it mentally? I mean, he was up and down a bit at the beginning of the season, and now missing a few weeks.
I didn't feel that way. I didn't feel like he was up and down a bit. I think he made some kicks, and then maybe there were a couple he didn't make that he'd like to have back, and he didn't quite hit them right. But I never felt mentally or emotionally that he wavered. That's one of Kyle's strengths. He's very, very strong-minded, very even-tempered. I think all the things you want in a specialist. It's a unique job to go out there for one snap and then come back to the sideline and you wait a period of time and you go out there for one snap. So you need to have that kind of temperament. I think he has that.
Kyle, how is Bateem played at center now that you have a really good sampling?
I think Bateem's getting better every week, and he's getting more comfortable, and he's growing into the position, and he's still learning some of the nuances of that position because it is unique to do that job. I think Robo's done an excellent job with him. I think having Darnell Stapleton on the staff, a guy who played that position in college, and even though he played guard in the NFL, was always the next center in the game when he was there. I think that has certainly helped as well.
I think you go 9, maybe 10 people on the defensive line. How unique is that, and how much does that help in the second half wearing teams down?
It doesn't happen very often. I don't know that I would comment on wearing the other teams down. You'd have to ask them. But I think what it does for us is it keeps us fresh. And I think if you watch the way our team runs to the football, you don't see a drop-off throughout the game. And I think that's critical to how we play defense. And to have that many defensive linemen playing in the games, it certainly makes that more possible every week.
Penalty-wise, still an area of concern? Or
Always a concern. Every penalty is a concern. We went on the road. We had some procedural issues again. That's been something that's come up. This week we'll be at home, so we don't anticipate having those same issues. But it's always a concern. It's something we look at every week to make sure that we're coaching it the right way and making sure we're holding the players accountable in practice, which I think we're doing. I've seen the improvements in practice. I've seen the improvements in some games. In other games, not as much, but we're still working on it.
You talk about only playing the game, the schedule as it comes, but is it a little strange that you built some conference momentum now that you're 2 games at a conference in late October, November? It's kind of unusual to have two like that.
It's a little different. It's definitely a little bit different. And to have 2 non-conference games in a bye week, it'll be really 3 weeks where the conference will be playing without us, so to speak. But I don't think it'll be an issue for us. We've got a very talented opponent this week, and then the bye week for us to kind of assess the situation that we're in and then look forward to the next opponent. But it is a little bit different than what we're used to.
Kyle, what are your thoughts on Caleb Johnson? Just like Don was saying about his sample size, you got a pretty good sample size with him.
I think I've started to see that learning curve go forward. Like last year, I said earlier in the year that there was a point that Caleb got, and I forget exactly where it was early in the season, maybe the 3rd or 4th game, where he had a little bit of a spike in how he was playing, the level of his play. And I think when we moved him to left tackle, we needed that again. It's a different side of the ball for a guy who was a guard in high school, so it's not like he's been a tackle his entire life. He had 1 year at right tackle, now we moved him to left tackle. And I think we've started to see that. Physically, Caleb is exactly what you want to play with. Now I think his technique is getting a little bit better each week.
Are you pretty set with your rotations almost everywhere? Or are there some guys over the final third of the season that might see more time that haven't seen a lot to this point?
I think where you see that competition the most would be not the starting 4 defensive linemen, but the guys who play after that. Those are the guys that are really every week in practice fighting for their reps. The better they play in practice, the more reps they're going to get in the game.
Kyle, how surprising is it to see Mark Harrison's name up there in career touchdowns with Taekwon, Transmosis, and Marco?
It's not surprising to me. I remember Mark Harrison catching a big touchdown his freshman year up at UConn. Post over the top. I can remember it like it was yesterday. So from the very beginning, Mark has been a very explosive, talented, productive guy. And it doesn't surprise me that he's been that this year and that his career numbers are what they are. He's somebody we rely on to make plays every week.
Got time for two more?
Kyle Kirksey got a fair number of snaps at Temple. Have you seen him, now that he's healthy, kind of progress there?
I'm sorry, who?
Kirksey.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Kenny's done a nice job coming back from his injury. He's full speed now, and Kenny is an explosive athlete. He's got good strength, and he's starting to play with a high motor. And that on our defense, if you don't play with a high motor, you don't play. So the more he does that, the more he shows us he can do that consistently. I think he can even earn more playing time.
Kyle, Jamison has had more opportunities to catch passes this year. What has he done to improve in that regard?
Juwan always had good hands. I think what happens in any season is, as players on offense prove that they can make plays, you have to find ways to get them the ball. And for Juwan being a running back, certainly we can hand it to him 41 times if we want to. But there's other ways to get him the ball in space, and he's a guy that in space can be dangerous at times. So, Coach Brock and the staff have done a good job of finding different ways to make sure we can get him the ball every week so that you don't ever want to leave a game and he doesn't have enough touches. You got to get a guy like Juwan Jamison his touches.